So in this session we're going to be exploring the neck and the upper body. Just kind of looking at the neck being actually the most mobile area in the spine, but often as we get stressed or cold or anxious or older, this area tends to can really easily get seized, contractions, lots of things going on. So this is just a little short session to kind of strengthen the muscles around the upper spine, the back and the neck, and also to bring a little bit more mobility. So as always, to begin with, we'll just settle with kind of trying to connect with the breath. So find a nice comfortable position. That could be sitting or cross-legged or lying down, whatever is the most comfortable for you. And then just gently close your eyes. As always, if closing your eyes is not feeling so relaxing for you, find a focus point on the ceiling, on the floor, on the wall, and just begin to draw your focus in on the breath. And just taking a couple of normal breaths, noticing where you're breathing in the thorax. Is it sort of right high up in the top of the chest? Are you breathing down to the belly, up to the ribs, round to the spine? It might be that already your breath feels kind of calm and confident. It might be not so much. So just checking in with how the breath feels in your kind of natural state at this moment. And then begin to think about moving the breath around the body, around the thorax. Thinking about sending the breath down to the belly, down to the pelvic girdle. Really allow the abdomen to expand and push out with each inhalation and retract with each exhalation. Beginning to slowly move the breath as well as down to the belly, out to the sides of the ribs. Feel like the ribs are trying to push against maybe the sort of the edges of your arms. Feel that movement, that expansion out to the edges as well as down towards the floor. Softening the jaw, the tongue, softening around the neck and the throat, letting the shoulders release gently. Notice if they're sort of hanging up tight around your ears, see if you can let them drop and soften. And then lastly, try and send the breath to the back of the body, round to the spine. Not so easy if you're not lying on it because you don't have feedback from the floor, but just trying to think about visualizing that breath moving to the back of the lungs, the back of the rib cage and the spine. And then take 3 breaths, breathing in for 3, 4 or 5 seconds. Not overstretching if you're not used to kind of working with the breath. Just beginning to slowly slow your breath down. Working within your own limits with what feels good for you and your body. And really beginning to allow the pelvis to root down to the floor. Begin to lift the spine a little taller and slowly, on your third exhalation, open your eyes, lift the spine tall, and just lift the shoulders up to the ears, and then let them drop. Lift them up, let them drop. And last time, lift them up and let them drop. And then just have a little wriggle, exploring any creakiness, any aches or pains, just really trying to let go, maybe bending the elbows, really floppy wrists, starting to look like a slightly strange thing. And then beginning to bring that movement into some circles, really floppy wrists, bent elbows, and then going in the other direction. And then just shaking everything off. And then gently just twist your neck round to the left. And then round to the right. And back to the center. And gently push your left arm away, really engaging through that left wrist. Let your neck drop to the right. Squeeze through the belly. And then as you exhale, bring your fingers to your shoulders and push away. Bring your fingers to your shoulders and push away. Gently, slowly move your head back to the center. Keep pushing against that wrist and then letting the head come to the same shoulder. and then back to the center, and release. We're working with the other side. Push the right arm away, wrist engaging, and then lengthen the neck over to the left. Feel that length come up through the spine, through the chest, let the pelvis release down to the floor, and then fingers to your shoulders, elbows draw in and lengthen. Bending the elbow, tapping the shoulder, and lengthen. Tapping the shoulder, and lengthen. Again, keep that wrist really engaging and stretching, and then draw your shoulders slowly back to the center and down to your right shoulder, getting my right and left wrong, and then come back to the center and release. Now this time we're going to draw a circle with the nose, so tucking down, coming forwards, up, and back. The back part is equally as important, the bit that we tend to not do so much. We tend to have the head hanging forwards, extend through the neck and the shoulder muscles and the spinal muscles, and then tuck down. Just showing you from the side, tucking down, forwards, extending, pulling back, and down. And then again, maybe drawing in the other direction. Just exploring those circles a few times, again going one way and then the other. And just noticing which way feels easy, which part of the circle feels easy or hard, or maybe none of it does. Just beginning to bring those movements in. And noticing the sensations in the front of the throat, in the neck, across the front of the pecs, around the shoulders, around the upper spine, at the back. And then when you've done a few rounds, come back to the center. Now the more kind of normal circle, going this way, drawing a nice big circle with the nose. Again, really feeling into that stretch that starts to come in through the jaw, through the front of the throat, through the scalenes. If you tend to be someone that holds or has tension in the jaw, this can feel quite nice. You can maybe hang out there as you stretch over to one side, let go of the jaw, let the mouth be open, and then bring that nose all the way up and round to the other side. And as always, going in the other direction. Noticing as soon as you start to make those movements, do you feel tension in the wrist? Do you feel tension in the jaw, in the front of the chest? Notice where, as soon as you start to move, is there an area of your body that starts to overwork or underwork or grip or circle, circle, circle. Come back to the center. Close your eyes. Just take a couple of breaths, just noticing, checking in with the neck and the spine and the shoulders. And taking another long breath. And then as you exhale, come forwards onto your hands and knees. Spread your fingers, push firm down into the floor. Squeeze through the belly, and then bring your left hand onto the back of your head. If that's not possible, just take your hand and elbow out into a 90-degree angle. It might be really hard to get your hand behind your head, depending on how your shoulder and neck is feeling. So find that comfortable position. And then we're going to lift up, and then twist the head, and then we're going to drop down and twist the head. So starting with the spinal shoulder muscles, and then introducing a little deeper into the cervical spine and the neck. If it's not possible with the head on the hands, again, you can still do this with the hands opening up, but keep the elbow bending. So you're dropping down and up, twisting the neck as well. Really contain through the pelvis and the legs, squeeze through the belly. Again, whether you have the hand on the head or away, just exploring that, doing at least 10 of these, noticing how the movement of the breath helps it engage through the chest and help create a little more space as that inhalation as you lift up. And then when you've done your 10, gently release, and we'll come to the other side. Elbows and engaging out, or hand on the back of the head, and twist and lifting. Oh, this is my tight side. So again, just checking in, noticing if there's restriction or a bit of stiffness on different sides. Where is that? Where do you find it in the body? And just to check in and notice each time you do this, do you feel any difference? Making sure again you do it even on both sides. If you're doing the hands not on the head, really try and open that hand down and bend that elbow. Exploring that a few more times again. I haven't been counting, I'm hoping you guys are counting. Let's do 2 more. And then slowly release, hands down. Now this time, reaching the arm straight, so it might be that you want to get the hand here or here. If you can take it up, take it all the way up. Hold here, 3 breaths. Squeeze through the belly. Notice I tend to push into my hips quite strong here. So push your pelvis back into the center. That will restrict the movement in the chest, but helps, always useful to bring constraints into the posture. As you exhale, right hand down, and bring the other hand up. 3 breaths here again, noticing, have you sort of brought this shoulder up towards your ear? Are you twisting and rotating in when you don't need to? Just exploring, noticing how we move our body, which might be contributing to some of the pain or restriction we're feeling. And then as you exhale, gently release, hands down, head down, and bring your hands behind you into child's pose, just resting here. As always, if that feels really tight for the neck or the shoulders, you can bring your hands into fists, and then rest your forehead on your hands. Take 3 breaths here, really allowing the softness to roll through the body. Letting go and resting between the postures. As you exhale on your 3rd breath, really slowly roll through the body, through the through the neck and the shoulders, and then lift up and open across the chest. Now from here, we're going to come down onto the belly. We're going to press into the floor, and then just release down as comfortably as you can, down onto the torso. So resting the tops of the feet down, and then we're going to have the top of the head down. So you've got a couple of options here. Let me just explain to you. So you're going to eventually aim for this position. The floor is here. That might be super uncomfortable. So maybe start with your hands out straight. And then on the next round, you can bring the hands kind of to a 45-degree angle. And then maybe eventually, not necessarily in this session if it feels super tight, but in a couple of sessions when you practice it, bring the elbows into 90-degree angle, okay? So that's where we're aiming to. If that's not possible, come back to here, and just explore. Find that position that works for you so you're not causing pain, but you can feel that we're working those muscles. So, head down, hands into position. To begin with, keep your head down, lift your left elbow off, and hand as well, and drop down. Right, up, and down. Left, up, and down. Right, up, and down. One more time. Left, up, and down. Right, up, and down. Take 1 breath here. If that's your limit, stay with doing one side at a time. If you feel you can work both at a time, keep the head down. Lift both elbows and hands up. Squeeze through those shoulder blade muscles. And down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Hold here. Now, if you've got your hands wide, bring your elbows in front of you and prop yourself into a sort of low kind of sphinx posture. Or if you've got your elbows in that cactus position already, just keep them there. We're going to press into the hands, and this time elbows down, but we're going to lift the head. We're going to twist to the left, back to the center, to the right, and back to the center, and down. Push into your hands, into your elbows, lift up, extend, twist to the left, to the center, push into your hands, twist to the right, back to the center, and down. One more time, push into the floor, lift up, really extend. Maybe you might find you want to lift up a little higher. If that feels strong in the lower spine or too much, then stay lower. Or again, bring your hands further in front of you, and you can extend here. Twist to the left, and center, engage through the glutes and the legs, engage through your upper spine. Twist to the right, and then center. This time drop all the way down, bring your hands back either out to the side, cactus, or 45 degrees. And we're going to lift everything minus the lower body. So head and arms. Inhale, lift up, extend, look forwards, tuck the chin, and drop down. Elbows off, hands off, head off, look forwards, extend, look a little higher. Exhale, drop back down, tuck the chin. Inhale, elbows off, head looking forwards, chin lifting a little higher, squeeze, exhale down. One more time, elbows off, look forwards, and then drop all the way down. Let your head rest to one side, bring your arms behind you, close your eyes, just take a couple of breaths here with the head to one side. Slowing the breath down, moving the breath to the back of the body, along the lower spine, the mid-spine, and the upper. Exhale, twist your head to the other side. One more breath. And then slowly come back to the center. Press into your hands, push into your fingers, yes, but also more importantly your toes. Squeeze through the belly and then come up onto your knees. So, from here I'm going to shake from the side, put your hands out in front of you, and then I want you to retract and protract, engaging through the shoulder muscles. So, from the front, the arms will constantly stay strong and straight. The movement comes from the shoulder girdle, rounding and engaging. Again, from the other side, pushing up so the arm, it's never the elbows moving, it's coming from the chest and the shoulder girdle. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, shoulders coming together, shoulder blades, and then exhale, shoulders coming apart, shoulder blades coming apart, shoulder blades coming together, shoulder blades coming apart, and then come forwards onto your hands and knees, squeeze through the belly, shoulder blades coming apart as you round, and then open the chest and squeeze the shoulder blades together. Inhale, same movement, but this time you have feedback from the floor. The arms still straight, you're never bending down. The movement, you don't lock into the joints, but the arms are staying engaged, strong and straight. Couple more times, exploring that again. If you found that a little strange with the hands down, come back to the posture where you're just kneeling or sitting or standing if kneeling is not comfortable, and moving. Keep those hands engaged, keep the arms strong and straight. 2 more times. And then gently turn the hands in and reach those wrists out and back. Come back to the center, turn the hands back out. Come out, external rotation, out to the side. Notice that the hands can come further out, the arms can come further out, and release. Back to the center, internal rotation, opening back. Back to the center, hands up, and external rotation, opening back. Come back to the center, and release. Hands rest on your thighs. Again, give the shoulders a little wriggle. Let go around the jaw, around the neck. And again, let the head just kind of rest to your right shoulder. From here, drop your jaw down to your shoulder. Always hanging over to one side, but then lift it up to the ceiling. Exhale, down to your shoulder. And up to the ceiling. So if you notice when you're in this position, what you're doing is having the head hang really far forwards. Bring it back up, bring the head, the hand onto the back of your head, and resist your head and hand. Then drop your head to one side. So you know that you're still kind of pushing back and not doing that thing where you tend to let the head kind of come forwards and really round everything. So let's go back to the center. We'll do it again. Head back into your hands. Push, 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 push. Engaging around the shoulder. And then let the head drop to the side. So it might be that you don't move so much. If you notice you then start to do that, you'll feel it because your jaw will come in, your hand will come with you. Everything will kind of come forward. So then push, push, push back. Let the head come down, then maybe release. Jaw down, Still to one side, draw up, draw down, draw up, draw down, and up, and slowly release, come back to the center. So again, start without the hands, we'll come to the left, and just notice where you tend to move your head. Have you kind of come forwards, have you sort of really arched back, or again, everyone will have different tendencies to what they do. So just exploring, letting the head come back, draw the chin down, and up. So if you're noticing again that everything's feeling really forwards and you're still rounding, we're going to come back to the center, bring the head and the hand and push against each other. So again, there's no kind of coming forwards, you're pushing, pushing, pushing all the way back, engaging around the shoulder girdle. It can feel quite nice for the upper arm. Then drop the head to the left, release the arm, and we'll go down to the shoulder, up to the ceiling. Releasing the jaw, releasing the tongue, down to the shoulder, and up to the ceiling. One more time, down to the shoulder, and up to the ceiling. And then slowly release, and gently soften. Find a comfortable position. Again, obviously I've been kneeling all this time. If that was not comfortable for you, I should have said, so find whatever's most comfortable for you, so that you can focus on this upper body and you're not thinking, oh God, I'm in so much pain in the lower body. So then again, find your comfortable position, and we'll just close with 3 breaths. Closing your eyes or finding a focus point in front of you. Noticing again where the head and shoulders and ears are in relation to each other, and where the pelvis and the shoulders are in relation to each other. Just take one more long, slow breath here. Thank you very much. I hope that felt a little bit useful, and enjoy.